All right, let's move on to Series 5. These figures, the Series 5 figures are from 1992. And around this time, you're going to see that they started to really change up, like, what kind of guys they were making the figures off of. More gimmicks were coming along, and the gimmicks really changed over time. It wasn't the normal faces that we'd seen before. All right, so we got Erwin R. Shyster here, IRS, the tax man of the WWF. He doesn't come with any accessories, which I really like this figure. Captures him well, but if he had the suitcase, that would probably really complete this figure. I don't know why. They should have made a suitcase, like, accessory that he can hold. That would have been nice. He does the right-off slam, so he's one of those figures that does the stomp, like Butch, and I think one of the Bushwhackers, yeah. So you lift his hand up, you lift his arm up, and he does called the right-off slam. It's not really a slam, it's more of a stomp. But I mean, he's in the position where he can do a slam. So that's IRS, great likeness. 1/2 of Money Incorporated, the tag team champions of the time. So, really great likeness and great figure. All right, next up, we got the one and only ruler of the universe, Sid Justice. And this figure is really, really jacked here. Look at this. This is another one of the more common ones, like IRS. No accessories, of course. Sid doesn't need any accessories, though. And he does the power bomb, which is pretty much like the Gorilla Press, Hogan's Gorilla Press Slam, where you just, you move the arms up and it goes down. Sorry, guys, I can't do these actions right, but his arms go up and then it goes down. It goes down like a power slam, like a slam. It's called the power bomb. That was his original move, and his likeness is captured very well here. He's got his signature blue trunks and everything, so really great figure. Yeah, it's the power bomb. And this one's a lot taller than most of the other ones, so he was a really big guy. Sid Justice was like 7 feet, so it really shows his likeness very well. Great figure. Underappreciated one, too. All right, next up we got, oh yeah, we got the Macho Man Randy Savage. Look at this, the later Macho Man. This is the more rarer Macho Man, uncommon one. This is when he was a baby face once again after he turned heel as the Macho King. But this is around the time when he was like the WWF champ, became WWF champion again. And he does the Savage Slam, I think they call it. He's another one of those jumper figures. So he does a jumper. He has the same body as Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Same exact pose and everything. So this is like the only figure I've seen redone of Brutus's figure. And it works pretty well with this figure. It captures his likeness great. I don't know why they didn't put him with shades, but whatever. Still great. Really pretty sought after figure. It goes for about like $50 now. It's pretty uncommon. It's pretty uncommon compared to the rest, and I should say, yeah, it's a lot more sought after than the other figures. All right, next up we got the Florida Everglades man, Skinner, and he does the Gator Breaker, where you pretty much just touch his head and his arms go flailing around. I love this figure. I think it's a incredible looking figure. Skinner was more of like a character than he really was like a wrestler. If you saw him in the ring, he looked he wrestled more like a fighter and a brawler than he did a wrestler. I really wish the WWF would have utilized him more back in the day, because he was a really great character and they really missed out on him. Yeah, but he does the Gator Breaker. And this figure, not too expensive, but it's pretty uncommon. It's not too easy to find though. So, one of only a few figures that does this move. It's kind of like a signature move. Okay. Next up, we got the Warlord, the massive Warlord, one of the most jacked figures ever produced by Hasbro. Look at this. Great ring attire. Look, and he does the Warlord Wham, which my action doesn't work great on the Warlord, but I actually got this guy for free. I found him free in a lot for a sale. So, I mean, for free, this figure looks amazing, though. The action doesn't work too great. Only his right arm moves, but, you know, it's still a great figure. It's one of those Gorilla Press Slam figures, and like Skinner, another guy who I wish they would have used more, because Warlord was jacked. They could have really pushed this guy a lot more than they did. They really missed out on it, and I love this like Phantom of the Opera suit he has. It was really amazing. Great run and great figure too. Came out a little bit late though, because this one came out like right around the time he was leaving the WWF, which is pretty odd to me, but still a great figure. Next up we got the Mountie, and unfortunately I'm missing his shock stick, which is one of his accessories. I do not have his shock stick, so that really lowers the value for this one by a lot. Accessories really do make these figures very valuable, and his shock stick's not too easy to find. He does the Mountie mash, which is pretty much, he lifts his hands up and his arms, and they're supposed to go down. Amazing likeness, though. This is like one of my favorite Hasbros. The Mountie was is, in my opinion, probably the best heel of that era, because no one had like his cockiness, and like his character was so great, and Jacques Rougeau did a great job with the character, and like the shock stick thing, it was like an evil big boss man kind of. Yeah, and he did a tremendous job with it. I think this gimmick was only made for to face Boss Man in a feud, but that's what I've heard, but it's just a great figure overall. Yeah, once again, he was leaving it around the time, too, when this figure was made. So, that's pretty odd to me. But Hasbro, at Series 5, they were really cranking out different guys at the time. So, we got the Mountie there. Great figure. And to end it off, why don't we go with the one and only Virgil. That's right, the former bodyguard of the $1 Million Man. I love this figure. He does the bodyguard bash, they call it, where his arm moves back, kind of like Jake the Snake Roberts, and he does a punch. Yeah. Virgil, this figure is great. It captures it's simple. It captures his likeness great. Nothing over the top, and you don't need it really. You don't need anything over the top, because it's really just it's Virgil, former $1 Million champion. I've always loved this figure. It's really amazing. And yeah, so that is all of my figures in Series 5, and let's move on to Series 6.